This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, happy health habits, happy hour. We are here. We are on the bus. We are large and in charge of our lives and of building optimal health. And we have a new person on the bus, Melanie. She's been trying to get in with technical difficulties. So thank you, Cliff, for helping Melanie get on. So first step
is Melanie, welcome.
First step is seeing us, and next step is or first step is hearing us, next step is seeing us. So thank you for helping, Cliff. We'll figure that out, but we're happy to have
we're here.
You were here, and I know we have some missing. Kathy, I said she's not going to be here. Dentist Margot's having her cardio yearly exam today, so we won't have them. And Roxy, I believe, will be in and out, but anyway, we are here and we are excited to talk about so much this week. Sandy, so happy that you got on. Let me check my text, make sure there's no one else trying to get in here. So I'm just gonna screen share here for a second. Let's see, Chandra. Okay. All right. Noon, we're on. All right, so we are going to cover, okay, first and foremost, Monday night after the after, then we had the private meeting at 6, and I sent out again me bawling last week because it really kind of dovetailed into this whole in case anyone missed the show, it dovetailed into the whole thing that's happening right now. There's a huge there's a lot of shifts and changes going on with what we're going to be doing in the future with Optavia, and that's why Dr. Anderson's coming on and being more visible. He's going to be down in the trenches with us more, and there's going to be much more hands-on from him, and which I love about him because he is not at all afraid to get in the weeds with people. And so I want to see who so we'll talk about that, and then changes in the company. Let me screen share too a little bit about Carrie. You found a YouTube video, right? So you did. So this whole thing about we are optimal lifers, we are optimists, we are activists and optimists, and we are living the changes after the after, right? So before, most people go back to before the before, and then they gain weight more back, right? They miss the boat on how to master after the after. So we're all still in process, but we are all working through how do we manage how to manage that healthy place once we get there with our weight. And we know that it's not about weight, right, at all. It's really about our mindset. Yes. It's really about what's going on in between our ears. So who wants to, anybody, before I screen share, I got a couple things to show, but anybody have any takeaways from Monday just to kind of kick off either the Dr. A private one or the Monday night one? I want, first of all, I want to bravo everyone because we had 10 people on that live call. Bravo.
Yes.
Bravo, 10 people on the live call. Oh, we missed our nerve system regulation. Do you want to give us a minute, Carrie?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we could do it in the middle, wherever, but yeah.
Let's start with that because that's always where we got to get grounded. Okay, give us 30 seconds of grounding.
Yeah, we're all here. We got Rush got connected. So just one hand on one shoulder, the other hand on the other shoulder. And take a deep breath and just say, yay, I made it. I'm in the right place. I'm doing this for me. And just practice some deep belly breathing, inflating the diaphragm in the belly. And if you want a second breath in the same intake, then you can fill the upper chest. But first, fill the belly. Deep breath and let it out. Slow and slow. And just let the hands slide down to the elbow and up again to the shoulder and slide down to the elbow. Just a soothing slide. It's a somatic release. It's telling your body I'm good. I'm here now. I'm safe. You don't need to produce cortisol right now. We're just going into relax mode. This is manual override. So just another deep breath in the belly and let it out slow. And there's so many things we can do. Just a nice, quick, easy 1 minute throughout the day, different times when you notice. If you just need to bring the stress levels back down so that you can have clarity of thought. And a really good one is just using your eyes, just kind of look up to the left and down to the right, look up to the right and down to the left. Doesn't matter, just go across this, just slow. Don't want anybody to get dizzy. If you're driving, don't do this.
I do circles with my eyes, but it might make you dizzy.
Yeah, but do your circles really slow. Like you can even do a figure 8. Like fill the whole Zoom screen, but go like really slow. Follow your eyes are following your fingers. And you can go your hand motion even slower than this. Just bring it down a notch. Yeah. And see your eyes are accessing left brain, right brain, and merging them together. All right. So just we'll do different nervous system reset, amygdala, calm down throughout the day. Each week we try to do this just to get back on track. Because sometimes we let that go and take over our lives, and that's not who should be in the driver's seat. Amy should not be driving.
I know, right? I know. It's true. So I'm gonna share screen here. So I'm gonna put this on.
And when I say Amy, I meant Amy the amygdala, but
Amy,
y'all get
Amy
the reference.
The amygdala. Amy, your amygdala should not be.
Or as Mary Gomez says, Amy, that crazy lady.
Right. So I just want to remind you, because I took this seminar, a 5-day summit, which I'm still making my way through some of what I missed. But everything, you see this screen here? I'm gonna put a screenshot in here. Everything this gal said is about us getting out of our lizard brain and into our human brain on page 116 of your life book. Okay. And it's how to make that break between stimulus and response. This is what Dr. Anderson's teaching us already. This is the basic form. And this gal, this MD, was at a place where I was in my life, where she was so beaten, broken, and falling apart, she was going to have to get out of medicine. And when she talks in here about regulating the nervous system, and that's what we're doing, guys, is regulating, calming down that lizard brain so that we can think with our human brain. And all the science is there. And what's fascinating about it is that when we learn to stay in the middle, see the green zone, that's the healthy zone, calm, curious, connected. Oops, sorry about that. Present, healthy, secure. We are in a parasympathetic mode where we are feeling calm and curious and present. When we're in that red state up at the top, up in here, see this? We have some sort of anxiety, restlessness, activation, ADD happens here, okay? Inability to concentrate happens here. Insomnia, anyone heard of overwhelm? Anyone?
Hear it, I live it.
Raise your hand if you ever heard of it, or you hear someone. Everybody and their dog, all I hear all day long is I'm overwhelmed. And that's because they live in this state up here above the line. Okay. And all of these there's all kinds of disease processes that are actually a result of that. And we can't stay there chronically. So I geek out on this because this is the science, and I won't play her, but she talks about regulating, which is what Carrie's doing with us. Regulate. See the blue stuff in overwhelm here? Blue is overwhelmed. We're frozen. We're exhausted, we're depressed, we're chronically in pain. What's the point? We don't need to want to get out of bed. We don't have energy for anything. We too much, too fat. Everything's too much, right? That overwhelm place. So that's under the line. So we're functioning either above the line or below the line most of the time. And that leads to lots of health problems too. And guess what? That weight gain as well, right? So the more we can learn to stay regulated in the middle, in the green zone here, and keep ourselves calm, the better for our health and the better for our brain. Does that make sense? So it's this on steroids. All right. So this stuff works. It's true, and you will get healthier. And I, for one, have to say that I didn't get, now that I've been able doing this for so long, and Carrie will say that too, you're able to control your responses much better. And the gap between, stimulus and response can be shorter, and you can apply stop, challenge, and choose at a much higher level. So Kathy actually said that she's been breathing. She's been doing what we've been talking about. And she said, my win is that this program and hearing Dr. Anderson and the amazing stories Monday night are helping me get through this upheaval in our lives. Now, even more important than ever is to maintain good and healthy habits so I can be there for my husband. And I spoke to her and she said, are you breathing? And she said, oh yes. And I'm doing the regulating, and oh yes. So, right, this stuff works. So remember to do it in the moment. Okay. And I will do a separate time where we play this doctor talking, because she's super awesome. So we can.
Yeah, she's another Dr. Amy, by the way, so let's
She's
not all
another
get confused, but
yeah, AMIEE, but we can do a separate time if you guys are interested in learning and listening to some of these webinars that I've been listening to, because they're just fascinating. So keep your nervous system calm at all costs. That is the number one thing to do when you're overwhelmed and you run into people that are in that state. It's pretty hard to talk them off the ledge sometimes, isn't it? So, so big changes going on in the company in the wake of this whole medical weight loss thing Dr. Anderson talked about on Monday night, right? We have to focus in on the healthy habits, because they don't come in a pill. So what did you all get out of Monday night from that topic? Anybody have a share that they'd like to share?
oh, there was so much. I didn't even take notes because
No, I didn't.
we're just so excited to see our friends on there.
Yeah,
But it was just so much all about everybody putting into practice what they're doing. And one big takeaway was, like Mary Gomat said, it's not about the numbers. Like, she didn't even hardly mention weight or inches and stuff like that, but it's what she's accomplishing in her life. And Roxy talked about going from depression to being able to walk every day and do what she loves.
Yes.
And that was the most important.
Yeah.
Who here was there anyone here that didn't hear Mary's story on Monday night? I know Cliff probably no. Sandy, no, Sandy didn't. Okay. Okay.
Betty wanted to say something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say too that one of the things that Roxy pointed out was she said in the translating. So she had a big barrier. She had a language there that was standing in her way, but she didn't let it go down. She get out your dictionary and start translating. And I thought, how many of us also we're translating to our husbands, to our neighbors, to our friends, what we're doing. We're speaking English, we're speaking the same language, and we're still translating what we're doing. And trying to do it in a way that makes someone else understand. And
absolutely. I love that. I love that part. It
was so good. All of it was so good. So good.
And Dr. A kind of just picked that up and ran with it. When putting into practices all the new habits, it feels like the uphill struggle translating the whole way. But when you're fluent, because it becomes second nature. You don't
You're
have to think about it. You're just living the healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yep, when you're speaking the language. Yep, you're speaking the language. Before I take this off screen share, I just want to share this 2-minute video that Carrie found on YouTube. And again, the whole
Did you optimize for video playback?
how do I optimize it?
You need to close the screen share and reshare
Okay.
it again, and you have to
Okay.
check the box.
Okay, I will do
So-
optimize on the video on the video part.
Yeah. When you go to share, before you say share, there's a little window, little box says optimize for video and audio sharing, or else we won't hear a thing. And this is actually on the coach share website of Optavia, but it's just shared through YouTube.
Display participant. No, is it on the? It's on the little.
Yeah, when you click share screen,
Okay.
and then it has the little option checkbox.
Oh,
for
optimize.
Got
There
you go. Just check the second one and it'll do both audio and video.
Okay. So let
Or
me
else
show
we
you
won't. There
this
we go.
is really going to set us up for the next part of our little conversation here. So sharing all. Okay. All right.
This industry has always been known for fads, all promising a fast, easy path to success. Every day, consumers are inundated with ads about quick fixes, speedy results. And now, with the advent of GLP-1, they're clamoring like never before for that shiny new silver bullet that will fast-track them from before to after. But what about after the after? How can people overcome unsustainable weight loss plans, yo-yo dieting, and unhealthy fads that don't work long-term? With help from Optavia, that's how. Because our secret sauce isn't just a one-shot deal. Optavia is the best of both worlds. We give consumers access to medical weight loss options as part of a larger, holistic approach to lifestyle change, all designed with the long-term in mind. Unlike other plans, Optavia truly understands the struggle most people experience when trying to reach a healthy weight. Unlike other plans, we provide a comprehensive, coach-led, habits-based solution that can be customized to needs and lifestyle, with new options designed to support GLP-1. But most of all, unlike other plans, we help clients believe that success for real people is achievable. That is what sets Optavia apart. And that is why now is the time to take this exciting opportunity to introduce ourselves to a wider audience, to punch above our weight, to make a splash, to grow our community, to help new clients transform their weight loss journey into their life's journey, or in short, to help more people than ever say bye-bye before and hello after the after.
How cool is that, right?
Yes.
How cool is that? Absolutely the coolest thing ever. And here's all the people that were on with Dr. Anderson. We're all after the after. You guys were all Mary's story is here. You want to hear Mary's story for the people who didn't hear it? Should we just let her? Should I play this share? I got it queued up. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let
Yeah,
me just
thumbs
let me-
up all around the board. I
Yes.
see.
Play this. Let's play this.
Stan, so Mary, take it away.
This is Mary.
Sure. Yeah, my story, I lost 60 pounds and I went from the person that never has had an athletic bone in her body to, since I've lost weight, I skydive, I've walked the Grand Canyon. I just came back from my best day ever, hiking Glacier Park, 21.3 miles in one day, carrying a 30-pound backpack up a mountain pass. And it was
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, to be able to live, to do things like that. I'll be 63 in a couple weeks. I'm training for a 5K. I got up at 5 a.m. so I could get my 30 minutes of running in. Who's never ran a mile in her life? Who is this woman? Seriously. But it all started back with those questions. Yeah, that's when I get emotional. Amy, the crazy woman, pushing you to ask the questions, to finally be successful at dieting because it's no longer a diet, but it's a why. It's the mind. It's the changing, the everyday challenging my thoughts going, I have to get up tomorrow. No, I get to get up tomorrow. I get to run. I can run. It's all of those things that you, Dr. A, put out there, challenging those thoughts, changing that mindset. What is your why? My why is to make my outside reflect my inside so that I can share hope. Because I lived inauthentically trapped in a fat body because I have my God and my Savior and the most joyful life, but I didn't feel like I could share that because I was inconsistent taking care of my temple. Not anymore. And, I love the things that Amy does to challenge us to, what woman makes crazy boards every year and vision boards. Never did anything like that. It's getting those things in your mind. It's putting them before you. It's choosing your verse of the year. My word this year was reach. Let me see what it says. My word this year was reach, and it stood for requires repeated effort and endurance, actions and accountability, consistently creating habits and health. And that's the mountain that I just climbed that went on my vision board at the beginning of the year. Yay!
Wow. Wow. I don't know what to say, but wow. It's so interesting because the teachable moment, as I look at what you're doing, you're basically putting yourself in a position to live over 100 years of age. I mean, that's the capacity and capability in the modern world we live in. But it starts right in here where you let your personal mind get out of the way, and you set structure and guidelines done by yourself, your true self, your authentic self. And so those things now guide you. And the repetition of the things that our personal mind, our ego, puts in the way that has us repeat these things that aren't helpful for us, but convinces us that, we need to do it because that's how we take care of ourselves. You've actually thrown those caution to the wind. You're now taking risks and you're living life. Life isn't something that just goes between the dash, right? It's it's the bottom line. It's how you live within that. Some people have died that just haven't got the notice yet. And you've gone the opposite. And so you're doing all the things that put you in a position to truly live in ultra health for a long period of time. And now that message, that story, that capability, when you look back, you're having to take out a telescope to see where you were compared to where you are now. That's incredible. Thank you so much. I would love to have your story, and basically, if you could send it to me, that would be awesome. Because I'm going to be doing a series on stories just like that, where you just absolutely flip the switch, and you have the same kind of story. These are meaningful stories of impact. These aren't taking a pill, right? Algae from the bottom of a volcano or tree bark in the lower Amazon. These are actually where you've made a decision, taken radical responsibility, and now you're reaching your capacity, which is to get away from that personal mind, that ego that's in the way and keeps us from performing the things that actually, to your point, not just support your temple, but support your mind so that you can be in service of your faith. So proud of you guys. Amazing stories. And this is why we do what we do. This is why, I've been on, this is like my sixth thing I've done today. And I just keep getting more and more excited by the fuel of your stories. It makes all this worthwhile, all this work worthwhile. So thank you so much, Mary, for sharing. And wow, look at that picture. It's awesome. Great stuff.
Awesome indeed.
Yeah.
Do you guys, I just have to tell you something. Not only was I crying during the whole thing, and
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm going to stop screen share, but just FYI, what's coming up is new automated text and app stuff, you guys, that is going to blow your mind. So this was a quick screenshot of it. It's going to blow your mind. We won't have time to talk about it today, but it's all going to be for you guys to access your habits of health materials much better in a more organized way. That's going to help you on a day-to-day basis. So fire up, because it's going to rock. and I have to learn it first, but then I'll share it with y'all. Okay. So it is amazing. The thing I have to say about Mary is this. The thing I have to say about Mary is she is a true optimist, is she not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Started
All in ultra health.
all in, right? All in. Did she go from, her perfect weight all the way to now? No, she did this just like everybody else on the way up, right?
Lots of ups and downs.
But one thing she did was she kept her toolbox right in front of her. She was on all the calls. She was listening to her brain was on 5 and 1. Okay. Her body was, but her brain was on 5 and 1. She used all the tools. And I just talked to someone this morning who started exactly the same time from Dr. Renee's pilot that we did in the beginning. They were both patients of an MD referred to me. Pam, on the opposite side of the spectrum, has done the up and down thing, but has gone all the way back down. She's gained before. She did before. She's already back to where she was and then some. Under my watch.
Oh,
Okay. Painful. It's painful because she didn't leave the team. She didn't leave the game, but her toolbox was strewn all over the yard. She couldn't get her tools together. She couldn't, do you know what I'm saying? She couldn't use all at once. She couldn't get her tools together. She was so crazy in her head. She couldn't get her tools together. Guys, that's why this brain stuff is so important. This relaxing and this calming down stuff, it's brain trauma. When we can't get our brains together, we cannot use our tools properly. I just had to come to Jesus with her today. She's going to work at a higher level with her brain so she can actually start doing what she knows to do. We have to use these tools. Dr. Anderson, and I'm so passionate. My heart bleeds for people that say, how many times, raise your hand. Have you heard someone say, oh, I did Optavia, I did that, and I'm done. I did that and it didn't work. Have you guys heard that?
no.
Yeah. And even was it Dr. A or was it David that called them out? They're just using it as another diet until the wedding, until the dress fits, until this, and then they're done.
Yep.
The feelings are gone. I'm done.
Yep.
And then they haven't grown.
Yeah.
Not at all. Until mental mismanagement, he said on Monday night, is the number one cause of death and illness in our country. And we have all the tools, guys, but we have to use them. And the people that I run into daily, the people that have been with me and quit, oh, I did Optavia, it didn't work. No, you didn't work it. That is what people want. They want after, but they have to be ready and willing to do the work it takes to get there through the ups and downs. Not quit. Be completely committed to, I'm not quitting on me. Are you guys with me on this?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no one and done. No one and done.
No matter what, no matter how many flat tires I get, no matter how many times I get off on the speed ramp and I have to get back on the highway, we don't quit. That is an optimist, and that's what you are. All of you.
Thank you.
And everyone listening to this, right? Because if you're listening, you're using your tools. Okay? Oh my word. I was bawling this morning with the gal that started at the same time of Mary. It couldn't be more polar, right?
Yeah.
The game is won and lost right in here. There is no question about it.
Yeah.
So if we got to take our brain to a higher level, living in a white knuckle, like I said today, I put out on the text, living in a white knuckle life is no way to live. No. White knuckling through a diet, white knuckling between diets. It's no way to live. It causes you to be in stress. It causes you to do poor things and stupid things, right? We cannot live that way. So it make poor decisions all day long. So this stuff really trips my trigger, and we cannot learn. And here's the other thing Monday night that I got is, what does your life book look like? Does yours look like mine with all the tabs? Are the pages ripping? Do you have marks in yours? What does it look like? Right? She brought that up. The gal, who was it?
A few.
Lori.
Tabs. Yeah.
Oh, look, yeah, go.
The poem-
Mine's in mint condition. You'll all be happy to know.
well, you know what? I don't want it to be in mint condition. If we go to class, how many classes did I add up every, 285, not probably 300 classes of health classes in the last 5.5 years. So guys, right, treat it like it's, you're paying for a degree in optimal health and well-being, and go to work, go to class, go
Yeah.
to the book, do the workbook, go to the class. Can't, these, just look at it like you've invested in a university education. And if you do that, right, you're going to get way more out of it than not. So I want dirty books, Sandy. I want broken books. I want you to have to buy it, right?
Yeah, scribbles,
And-
sticky notes, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Or videos, right? Audios. We gotta anyway. So
Yeah.
that's the only difference. So Pam committed to doing that mental work and taking some higher up stuff, because she's definitely stuck with the emotional. Sometimes our emotional past stays in our present and our future all the time, and we got to dump it, like Sandy dumping all of her baggage, all of the things that we carry around, right? Dumping all that stuff.
Yeah. Too.
So keep working at dumping all that stuff, guys, because it really does work. I want you to feel like a winner today. You are all optimists, no matter what your story is. You're just in process on a journey. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
what did you guys get out of Mary or Monday or whatever? Let me shut up. How about you? Sharon, Deb, Betty?
I had, you know what, when she was talking, I thought, oh, you lazy thing. So I picked up my phone and I walked the kitchen while she was talking. And so for the rest of the thing, I'd walk for a while and then I'd sit and then I'd get up and I'd just walk. Anyway, by the time this was over with, I glanced at it. I was at something 700 steps, and I was at something 900 steps. So I'd gained about 200 steps just in listening to from Mary on to the end of the people talking. So what did I gain? 200 steps. So and a lot up here too.
Yes, you did.
You
Yes.
did neat. You did neat.
The biggest step was you put the step into motion, breaking inertia.
First step.
Yeah.
You got neat points, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. Just why sit here when I can walk, and then I can sit down, and then I can walk. And,
Yep.
and so I did that. Yeah.
You're way ahead of me. That never occurred to me.
There's a little chart and a little thing about neat points that gives you a little chart that you can keep track. It's already made if you guys want. It's on thehabitsofhealth.com. But if you want that, it's super downloadable and might help you stay focused on neat point. Good for you, Betty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good for you. And the translating thing. Once you get into the language of it, you start hearing people's diet language. You start hearing their diet mindset, don't you? Yeah. How about you, Sharon? You had some experiences this week as a coach, right? Oh,
go
you're on
ahead
mute.
and unmute.
You're on mute.
I don't know what to share about that.
Put a positive spin on it. Learning moment.
But mindset is where it's at.
Yeah. Bottom line.
Yeah. I heard somebody use the word, diet, I'm just like Amy said, you start to hear those words and I'm just like, oh boy, we're not going down the right path.
Yeah.
We're not using our life book. We're not, into the mindset. So
she's like, oh boy, we're missing the boat. Let me throw you a life preserver. Let's redirect. Right? Let's adjust. Let's adjust the sails. Don't we have to keep doing that, right, Sharon?
Yep. I don't know. Mary was just awesome. And I know that Dr. A asked the gentleman, Mark, he had his little boy beside him, and, he just got him to say, yeah, I'm doing it for my kids.
Yeah.
Who's going to be there for him?
Exactly. Yeah.
Sharon thinks about her family. She gets to tears, doesn't she? Yep.
Yeah, that's your why. That's how
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know. Yep. It's who's going to be there for you. And are you going to be there for
What
them?
one of my favorite sayings is everybody will die for their kids, but who will live for them?
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
And Cliff is choosing to live for his kids. And you know, that's the same that question, Cliff, I asked Pam this morning, and she was on the phone. She got on this before her pre-op, and she's the one that went opposite of Mary. And I said, are you ready? Are you really ready? Well, I have to lose weight. I have to do this. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to do this. No. And she kept saying, I have to. I said, no, you don't, Mary. No, you don't. Why do you want to? And we went 7 times around. Why do you want to? I have to. No, why do you want to? Because I don't want to die. I said, there you go.
That's your why.
That's
Now
why.
we're getting somewhere.
There you go. Because I don't want to die. And I don't want to die, and who's going to take care of this and that and the other? And I don't want to die. I'm like, all right, you're ready. Let's do this. Fire up. Get your tools in the toolbox and let's go. Right? Again.
Your why has to outweigh any excuse.
Absolutely. I don't want to die.
Excellent, Cliff.
Yeah.
The man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, if you don't have a strong enough why, and Amy, you know, I've told people this before. If you don't have a strong enough why, don't even try.
Yep.
Because you're not there yet. You're not mentally ready to say, I have to change my life to change my life.
I'm the only one.
Yep.
Very good.
Boom.
Boom. So Cliff, I don't know how long we have you because I know you're working today and you're helping out Melanie. So,
Actually, my meeting canceled, so I'm good until about 1.
So share your journey with us quick. Now we've got you okay, you got back into your high school jeans. I don't know if anybody saw that post, but he got back into his high school jeans.
Yep.
And and what?
Where have you been since then?
Yeah, what's next?
I've maintained.
Good.
Maintained. Things have been a little hectic here, but things are going better. I just put in another order for my Optavia, and Melanie started coming over, and Melanie and I have started walking again this week. And I'm getting down into my gym and I'm starting to lift. One of the things that Amy and I were just talking about was I've been lifting weights. Because I used to lift for strongman back in my 20s and early 30s, and I'm not lifting like that now, but I really missed lifting weights. So I was actually the past almost month I've been working out 2-3 times a week, and what I've noticed is I actually gained a little bit of weight, but my clothes are fitting less. So
now you know it's muscle.
And I'm starting to see the veins in my arms again, and the definition is starting to come back. And where, like Amy and I were talking, it's like I gained a little bit of weight, but all my clothes are fitting differently. And it's like, so I know I'm sculpting more now than I am just losing weight. And even, when I had my surgeries done, I lost a lot of muscle mass. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about, especially when you're losing weight or when you lose a lot of weight quick, is you also lose a lot of muscle because you don't have that extra 200 pounds on your body now. So your body doesn't need all that extra muscle just to even walk and move it around. But it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing, because why would you want a bunch of that muscle and a bunch of that weight if you don't really need it? Like I'm never going to lift for strongman again, and I'm never going to lift to try and go and show, different poses and stuff like that. But I want to lift weights so that I feel strong. My girlfriend and we just started kayaking about a month and a half ago and doing archery together. And just by going and doing some of that stuff, like she's even said she can tell her arms are a lot stronger and her upper body's a lot stronger now. And so now I told her we need to start riding the bicycles. We got her bicycle all ready to start riding this fall. And
Good.
so yeah,
Good.
we've got a bunch of new plans that we're going to do, but
So thank you for the update.
yeah,
Yeah, good variety too.
My biggest story was my kids. And I keep telling people that a lot of people go where, you know, I'll go back to my original statement is, you know, a lot of people will take a bullet for their kid, but will you live for your kid? Yeah. And that kind of like what Amy was saying, the person she was just talking about, they didn't want to die. You know, I was at that point. I knew if I didn't make a change, I was going to die, and I was never going to see my kids get married or have grandkids or anything like that. And so that was my biggest reason that I knew I needed to make a change or I was going to die.
Yep.
So
sometimes we have to get to that. That's what I got to as well. Yep. And so that's a good motivator, but we don't want to wait that long, right? As best we can. So Cliff, I don't know how well you're using all your tools lately, you know, audio, videos.
I was going to say my healthy habit book is still in saran wrap, cellophane. Let me explain though. I thought I lost it, so I bought a new one. And when I reached to grab because mine, I think mine's out in my truck because I had it this last weekend. We were reading out of it when we were camping. And so I reached to grab it because I keep it on top of my other one. And I was like, oh, I can't show that. It's still in saran wrap.
So you got a spare, basically.
You got a spare.
I have a spare. Yeah, I have a spare.
That's awesome. Well, I just have a new gal who's eating it up. She got it split into 4 or 5 different sections because she wanted to have it that small to carry everywhere she went.
Right.
So that's an option. I didn't go that route, but that's also an option. So good for you. He's got a spare.
We need to talk to him about making us a daily calendar or something for that so we can rip it off and learn a little tidbit out of that every day.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea.
Whatever cue you need, just make sure whatever the cue is. Rip tab, that's a great idea. Make a little rip tab chart.
He does have daily posts on his Facebook and Instagram page. But it's not necessarily the life book. They're usually quotes from what he said on the forum and stuff.
Right.
But it might ting something.
You know what you could do, Cliff? You could actually you could learn something from your book and say, here's what I'm learning on my health journey. I learned this nugget today. Right? For 40 days.
Maybe I'll start doing that.
Yeah, for 40 days, I'm going to give you my health nugget and just put
words of wisdom, something.
Holds you accountable to yourself. Yeah.
But that's a good idea to bring up to Dr. A, since he's getting in touch with the little people more, us, I should say. Yeah, that's a great one to bring up. Yep. A lot of people like that.
Right, absolutely. How about you, Deb? What have you got? Any words of wisdom, wins? She's just recovering from COVID.
Yeah, I think
that's a win.
The win. Yes, I lived. I was really sick for a week, and I honestly don't know what I ate, but I know I had some feelings, and I had popsicles, diet popsicles, no calories.
I offered to go bring her something, and she was like, "No, I'm okay."
Poor baby. Poor baby. Yeah, I made it through, and I'm on the other side of that, and just I guess you know how happy you are after you haven't felt good, and then you suddenly feel good. It just makes you feel so happy, and so you want to just jump back into everything all at once.
Yeah.
So you can. This Mary's story especially has just made that even more.
Yeah.
So yeah, no big wins, but I'm still here.
Yeah, and you look good. You got a nice color, and
thank
you. Your big smile is back.
You look wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. Were you there Monday, Deb, or was that the first time you heard her?
Yeah, I wasn't there Monday.
Oh, I'm so glad I played it then.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, Sandy's glad too.
Cliff,
and Mary wrote me right after, because I I shared a couple screenshots with her. I'm like, I better share them with you before Amy posts them all over the internet. And she's like, thank you so much. And she's like, it was all such a blur. She was so happy to do it, but she says she really misses all of you, all of us, and on Wednesdays, and she wants to get back into that. We'll see how her routine settles in, but
Yeah.
she said hi to everybody.
Yeah, after her now, hopefully fall will get her back. So that would be awesome. How about you, Sandy? Any words from you? How are you and Steve doing? Wins of the week or bumped knees?
Yeah, is he driving or are you driving? He's driving. Okay.
Driving. And what's up with you two? How have you been? Oh, you're on mute.
Well, okay, I think I am muted now.
There we
Yep,
go.
yep, you're good.
Oh my gosh, I hate using the phone. We're doing good. But my big win is that whole 10-day vacation going to driving to Dallas and back. I maintained my weight
Very good.
because
Good.
I wasn't kayaking. I wasn't walking we walked, but not as much as I like to. And we had a few big meals, included in our convention activities. But yeah, we managed to maintain, and we managed to maintain our, our habits of doing devotions together, and a 10-day car trip can be stressful, but it was really wonderful. We had a great time.
And they figured out how to do a lean and green from a convenience store of sorts.
Yes.
And that was hysterical.
How was that, Sandy? What's that story?
Yeah.
Well, this was a year ago in Seattle. We were in a hotel that the only thing that you could walk to was a 7-Eleven across the street. Well, we went over there and found salads and like baked chicken. I mean, healthy things.
Yeah.
Everybody's spending $30 per meal in the hotel, and we're eating for $3 and sharing it and in our room, and we're loving it. And we ate healthy.
Yes.
And we started to try the same thing this year. We brought our own food where we could, and then when the meals were included, we were just, try to be careful about what we were doing. But I have to admit that Sharon's going to be so sad with me, but I was eating some sugar, not just some. I was eating a lot of sugar, so just need to start again.
Yeah, start again.
It's
But
the ups and
maintaining
downs.
through that's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good,
like
Sandy.
I'm never going to give up. I have my ups and downs, and I'm never going to give up on it. And then I come home and look around and realize that I have a lot more stuff to deal with. So I'm just plugging away at it and throwing some stuff in the recycle and figuring out where some more of Mom's things are going to go. And then when the bill, stuff comes, like I'm dealing with her Social Security and her veteran survivor stuff and all that stuff, and then bills come, and it's like, just take a deep breath. When I don't want to deal with it that moment, I throw it in a box. I have a mom box. I just throw the junk in there. And then when I'm in a better frame of mind, I just go take care of one or two things. And I got all the thank you notes from the funeral done on the trip. So that was huge.
Good.
And I talked to Social Security for over an hour while we're driving to Dallas, and let her know that she had died, because for some reason they didn't seem to know. And got the payment stopped. And now I went in the other day and they took all the money back. So, things are happening.
Awesome.
I'm just kind of letting it go one step at a time and not getting all rattled about it, because I can't change it anyway. I can't fix it. I can't change it. It's just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'll just deal with it one day at a time.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love that. Throw in a box and go at your pace when you can, because
Never-
life is going to keep throwing stuff.
Never disappointed, Sandy.
You're what?
I said, I'm never disappointed in you.
Oh, you're sweet. Well, I'm disappointed in me. And then every time I do it, think, oh, Sharon's done like over 300 days of no sugar. And here I am. Oh, it's been a half a day. Well,
you know what?
You've been more than a half a day.
You know what? We spend too much time focusing on what we didn't do right than we do focusing on what we did. So if you never noticed, in the Optimal Life group, there is a link called Celebration Time. I just put it in the chat. And every Friday, David posts, what can we celebrate you for? You girls and gentlemen and women, ladies and gentlemen, we have to celebrate our little wins more often. Okay? Because otherwise we're not affirming anything. You know what I mean? We need to keep affirming that we're making progress.
Yes.
Share the little things. Share the little wins. They're not little. They're big.
Yeah.
If you hear Monday night, he says, we win this game one little choice at a time, right?
Yes. And the other thing that's fun is when I'm eating something, like we had anniversary, so we had cake at the restaurant. He said, I'm taking a picture of that and sending it to Amy. I said, oh, no, you're not. He's on board now, knowing what I should and shouldn't be doing, and just kind of helping me and, helping me along. And we're just having fun with it, which is great. And I have one more win, which is not totally related, but I found a new mascara that I love, and I've been using it, and I just feel so pretty, and it feels really good.
I love it.
Yes, you do.
That is great. So great. So one of the things on Monday night I wanted to, Carrie, did you have anything more on? You always have a plethora of things. Do you have?
Oh, no, I didn't take any notes. It was just all screenshots and celebrations.
One other takeaway I had was, of course, he talked about this is a lifelong journey. We have to unlearn that this is and I'm done. Oh, I can't wait till I'm done. Right? We have to unlearn that.
No.
Because that's not it. We don't unlearn. It's a choice. We're either, if you're faced with a choice, chocolate or vanilla, you get to choose. Chocolate or vanilla. Okay. If you get to choose optimal life, would you choose it? Or another diet, which would you choose? If you had chocolate vanilla, what would you choose? If you had, here's your optimal life plan and here's your diet plan, which would you choose? Right?
Optimal, yeah. Optimal.
It's a literal choice. Like, I'm choosing that one, right? That was really profound to me. Like, yeah, right? It's just like chocolate or vanilla, choose.
Yeah.
Right? Pick one. You can't have both. You got to pick one.
I always get the mix.
Right? No, not mixing.
Right, Sandy?
And so yeah, just make sure to celebrate the small stuff. When you see those posts come, just comment on something. Find something positive to say for yourself, right? It's just healthy for you.
It is healthy for you.
And then it's healthy for everybody else, because then they get to be like, oh, look at her little win, like they think big win. It's not about the big wins.
No.
It's not about the skydiving. It's not about the rock climbing. It's about, I said no to the ice cream, right? It's really in the small stuff. The big wins are just little pennies in a piggy bank over time that add up to the mountain climbing and the skydiving, right? So never forget to honor your small stuff. I love that. I love that. And let go of the white knuckling, because just you're along for the ride, right? For life. And you're in the car. You set GPS, you're on autopilot, and you're there. And I did a post about my tribe. If you didn't see it, go and look and make a comment about you guys are my tribe. I was celebrating everyone that's really in this Live It journey with me. So thank you. I think Deb commented, Sharon commented. Go, Betty, I put your pictures in there too. I know you're not on Facebook, but I put you up.
Yeah.
Go. The reason I did that is not to celebrate me, but to actually celebrate our tribe, so that we can actually show people that we show up for each other. You know what I mean? Like, if we continue the conversation there a little bit, and share whatever you have to share and say whatever you have to say, it shows other people, because they look. And they're looking not just at the pictures, but they're looking at that little conversation, right? They're looking at the comments. So
I have to share some bad news too, that really shook me up. I went with Dr. Michelle and set up a bunch of stuff that I'm going to get started with. And she sent me up on Facebook, which I've fought for years. Anyway, last night when I went in there, I turned it on and they said I was not accepted, that I don't meet their requirements or their whatever. And it hit me. It was like stabbing me in the heart. But the first thing I did was I stood up and I went in the kitchen, and on my phone, I typed into Dr. Michelle and said I didn't make it. Then I ate 3 popsicles and I watched a Hallmark movie. That was my choice to not do it. But Dr. Amy had challenged me to a question, or not challenged, but asked me something. I thought, that's perfect. This morning I made the decision. I'm going to set up the 6 things I have learned, and I have so many wins in the last 15 months that I'm going back and on each one of the points and steps, whether it's the weight or whether it's community or whatever. And it's coming, Dr. Amy, but I'm going to write up my wins and stuff. I want a living document that I matter, that I'm important, and I don't need to be I don't need to be Facebook's favorite person or not. So
I don't know what that's all about, quite
I
frankly.
I was real. I was just it reminded me of that mean 5th grade teacher who was a horrible person to everybody. That took me back that far. It's like, but it's not going to get me down. And as long as you guys still love me, because I'm not a Facebook person, because I'm not.
Betty. Okay, first of all, have Michelle look at whatever you're seeing. Okay.
I did. I talked to her at 2:30.
She'll help you out with that.
That's
but you don't need a Facebook. You are part of our book right here.
Yeah,
and
that's
that's awesome that you're doing your own book.
Yeah, my fear was that I couldn't get on here. My fear was
here you are. Here you are. You were the first one on.
And you know what? That's probably a technical problem, but you know what? It'll get taken care of. Who knows? I don't know exactly, but but you make your document anyway, because you obviously got triggered way back into the past. Did you not?
Yeah.
So that's the past that needs to get let go of.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. It took me right back there. But I didn't let it go, let me down. I didn't eat.
Awesome.
I went immediately and typed to Dr. Michelle and typed to her so she knew, because I thought
you did what you could about the situation, and that is a win. So you said you had bad news, but it really turned out to be a win.
You responded really well. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. Yeah.
So,
and we do love you.
I know
we love your smiling face.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
So glad you're here, and you are one of our faithfuls every Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, and I don't want to miss that. And this is what I need here, and but I also want to be upfront, so I don't want you to think I'm hiding something from you.
Oh, that's good. And and when you're not here, we miss you, just like we all need each other in this community.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we sure do.
We ask, where's Betty?
Where's Betty?
I know.
So do you want me
to go, everybody? It's been great being with you today.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today, and keep living, being the optimist in the world, coaching or not coaching. You're the optimist. So keep it up. All right. Love you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.